It is the story of a fisherman named John, who goes fishing in his small boat. But after covering a short distance, something strange happens to him. There is a dense fog in the sea, and he cannot see anything far. He drifts in the fog for a long time, until he sees a boat in the distance. The surprising thing was that they did not see a single person in that boat. Now he wants to check it out, so he ties his boat to this huge boat and goes in to check it out. There he was surprised to see that there was no one in this boat, although everything was normal there. Even the food there was fresh, all human influences were there. But there were no humans. Now John tries to start the boat, but he finds that the boat's engine has broken down. He was surprised to see such a big boat alone in such a big sea. He tries to explore the surroundings with binoculars. It is possible that the owner of this boat is nearby and has gone fishing with a small boat, but the fog was so dense that he could not see anything. Now John goes back to the control room and turns on the radio messenger from there. He sends a message to headquarters that the boat is stuck in the sea. If anyone is listening, please reply to me. After doing all this, he decided that he would go in his boat only. And as soon as he came up, he was surprised to see that his boat had disappeared from there, although he had tied the boat well. As soon as his boat disappeared, another strange thing happened to him, that all the fog went away from there. The sky was absolutely clear. It was already afternoon, so he came back by the same ship. Now, because he was stuck in this boat, he tries to find his way through the map and tries to figure out where he is now and what path he needs to take to get back home. The second problem was that the engine of this boat was also broken. If he wants to save his life, he will have to row this boat somehow. Now he started trying to repair the engine. He found a toolbox from this boat, and after a while, he was able to fix its engine. This was a big achievement for him. Now the boat was working. He could have taken this boat anywhere, but at least he understood the way. He contacts the control room again, but no one responds. Just then the poor guy comes up, and as soon as he comes up, he has to go to the washroom. Since no one was watching him, he decided to do so in the sea instead of going down, but then suddenly someone pushed him from behind, due to which he felt he could have drowned in water, but he saved his life with great difficulty by holding the reel. The air pressure was so high that it was difficult for them to return. Now he might have drowned, but he wouldn't have lost hope. And as soon as he catches the reins, he's back in this boat. By this time his work could not be completed, so he went down to the toilet. As soon as he went downstairs, someone closed the door tightly. John did not pay attention to it because he thought it might have closed due to air pressure, but as soon as he freed himself and turned back, the door was locked from outside. He now tries to open the door in every possible way. He even takes out a coin from his pocket to try to open it, but that doesn't work. Frustrated, he begins to believe that someone on the ship is playing tricks on him to torture him with some cruel game. He started shouting loudly, "Please, whoever it is, open this door. I have not come here to steal anything. Believe me, I have just come to investigate." Despite saying this, no one replied. Now, whatever he had to do it himself. Here he opens the cabin and sees that the shocking thing is that there is blood in the cabin. It was scary, but he didn't care. And from here, he takes out scissors and tries to open the door again, and fails once again. Now this boat was also moving continuously. John was fed up, but then suddenly he saw a window above. He goes out of the window and looks around and sees a cargo ship coming from a distance. He saw that the direction of the cargo ship was exactly towards a ship. If a cargo ship comes here, his ship will be destroyed and he will save his life. He wanted to give a signal to the cargo ship, but how could he do so? He was stuck here. He takes off his shirt and signals to the cargo ship, but no one from the cargo ship could see him. Now he had to save his life somehow. Therefore, he had to stop his ship. Otherwise, the cargo ship would have destroyed it. Then he sees a rope above the window, and he considers that he has stopped the ship with this rope. He ties a rope and throws the boat out so that the boat can stop, but here something bad happens to him. The rope got stuck in the fan of their ship, and the rope from inside the bathroom got stuck around his neck. His throat was now starting to hurt. He will die, but with great difficulty, he takes his neck out of this rope with the help of some other tool. His neck was completely red. He was about to die, but he survived. Anyway, the ship stopped because of the rope fan, but it was still not enough. The cargo ship still collides with his ship. Due to this, his ship gets the worst blow, and he also falls here and becomes unconscious. His head was also injured. When John regained consciousness, he saw that the bathroom was now filled with water, and the surprising thing was that it was not seawater but pure water. It means there was someone who was trying to scare him. He pleads once more, "Whoever you are, leave me." But no one was listening to him. Now he was hungry and thirsty. His strength had also reduced after drinking water. He uses the washroom shower. He saw that the water had run out. When he starts drinking fresh water, he realizes that now this water is salty. It is seawater, and so he knows that there is a hole in his boat through which seawater is coming into the boat, and now soon this boat will sink. He tries to open this door again, but it seems that someone has locked the door from outside. It was already night, and when the view from above the boat was shown, it turns out that someone, invisible and undoubtedly an evil being, is controlling the boat. The water had also risen very high, and due to this shock, John also fell asleep. There was a storm in the sea at night. The boat was badly damaged due to the storm, and John was also badly injured. When he opened his eyes in the morning, the level of water had increased so much that his face was outside. Now he had accepted that he would die in a short time, but then he heard some cracking sound, and as soon as he turned the handle, the door clicked open. The door breaks due to water pressure and falls out, and in this way John gets released from here. First, he goes to the top of the boat to breathe fresh air, as the oxygen level below was dangerously low. Now he came to know that whoever is here is trying to torture him in every way. He cannot tolerate more atrocities than this. Besides, the boat below was also filling with water. He knew that this boat would sink any time. He had decided that he would not stay here, and then a thought came to him. He takes the airbag from this plane and down with the broken bathroom door. He connects all those things together and builds himself a little raft so that he could survive through this. But some other things were also important. How does he run this raft? He arranges everything on this big boat. From here, he also takes food and then gets off the boat. After all, he was in his fleet sweeping, moving slowly with great effort, and this big boat was standing in front of him. Hours pass. He too is not able to travel much, and sees that the boat is also standing in the same place, about which he was thinking that it would sink in 5 to 10 minutes. If it hasn't sunk yet, it means it won't sink. Thinking this, the idea comes to him that why not fix the leakage system of this boat? In this way I will also be able to travel easily in the same boat. Thinking this, he comes back to this boat. First of all, he fixes the leakage of the boat and then makes the pump, with the help of which all the seawater in the boat easily came back into the sea. After fixing the leak and removing the water, they fixed all the problems of this boat, and to avoid any problem in the further journey, this boat was also repaired from outside. After doing all this, he again tries to ask for help through radio. But this time also, when he did not get any answer, the poor fellow came back to the boat. He had a map. He tried to find his way again and rowed this boat, but once again, this boat betrays him and does not proceed further. The boat was completely still, stuck in the water, and this made him tense. Now he was completely tired. Meanwhile, he sees another ship coming from a distance, and he decides to go to that other ship through his small fleet to save his life. As soon as he takes his fleet and sets sail for him, this ship moves forward and starts chasing him so fast that he thought this ship would crush him and kill him. He increased his speed, but to no avail, because that big ship had increased its speed even more, and before this ship collided with it, he jumps off his raft and decides to go to another ship that was floating, but by then the other ship had left. Seeing this, he understood that there was some evil on this boat, who was not letting him go away from himself. He had decided that even if he dies in the water, he will not go on that boat. He kept swimming in the water till evening. But now the water temperature had fallen a lot. The water was very cold and there were dolphins below. Now he comes back to the boat to get rid of the cold. He was so ill that he did not think of anything and slept in the room with a blanket. When he woke up in the morning, he decided to go again, but now the door of his room was also closed. He becomes more frustrated. He could not understand what was happening to him. Just then, he sees a small cabin here. When he opened it, he saw that there was a path from the top. There is a vent that can open up and go out here. He now went inside that cabin. It was a small space because it was a storage area. Whenever he tried to climb up through this storage area, he fell. And this way he suffered many injuries, but he did not give up and climbed up again and tried to open the window. But even he could not open it. It felt as if it had been sealed. The oxygen level here had also fallen considerably. Even the door of the cabin was not opening so that he could go back to the room. Once again, he had accepted that he would die before he fainted due to lack of oxygen. He heard the clicking sound again, and the cabin opened. As soon as the cabin opened, he immediately came out of the boat. When he came out, he saw that the boat was coming from a small island. Seeing this gave him courage, and he took a breath that he would get rid of this evil boat. As soon as the boat reaches the shore of the island, John also immediately gets off the boat. He felt that there was someone on this island who was controlling that boat and torturing John. He picked up a stick to teach the man a lesson, but as he explored the island, he was surprised by the fact that there was no trace of any human being on this island. Once again, he got worried. When he came out of the island, a new scene troubled him. The boat that had brought him here was now moving ahead of him, as if searching for its next victim. Seeing this, John was convinced that the boat and the island were completely under the control of evil forces. He had to get out of here. He had a life. While doing some research, he goes to the highest point on the island. He sees another island nearby, but cannot see what is happening on it. While roaming around, he came behind the island. He was surprised after coming here. This is the same place where John begins his journey at the beginning of the film. His boat was also tied here like before, but there were people there like before. It seemed as if nothing had happened. John saw everything. He thought it was a bad dream, but in reality, it all happened to him. Who brought his boat here? And what was the real nature of this island? What was behind what happened to John? These questions remain unanswered, as the film ends without revealing them.